I'd like to ask you about the balance of risks as the American people see it. At this point, is the risk greater to leave interest rates where they are, given the damage that higher interest rates do to the economy in slowing demand and raising prices, or is it more important for the American people that you keep rates where they are to bring inflation down?
I think that we've been given an assignment by Congress. This is how we serve the American people, is by achieving maximum employment and price stability, right? And so in our, quasi-constitutional document, the Statement on Longer Run Goals and Monetary Policy Strategy, we look at the two goals, and if one of them is farther away than the other, the two variables, inflation and employment, if one is farther away from its goal than the other, then you concentrate on the one that's farther away, and you take account of the time to reach the goal. So for the last couple of years, the best service we could do to the American people was to focus on inflation. But as inflation has come down, and I think the upside risks to inflation have decreased as the labor market has cooled off, and labor market has softened, probably the inflation is probably a little farther from its target than is the employment, but I think the downside risks to the employment mandate are real now. So we have to weigh all that. And if you think about where that takes us, is we have a restrictive policy rate. It's clearly restrictive. It's been the rate we've had in place for a full year. And the time is coming, as other central banks around the world are facing the same question, the time is coming at which it will begin to be appropriate to dial back that level of restrictions so that we may address both mandates.
Well, you have event risk, basically, with the jobs report on Friday and another one before you meet again. Are you certain that you won't fall behind the curve and lead to unnecessary unemployment if you wait until September?
Certainty is not a word that we have in our business. So we get a lot of data between now and September, and it isn't going to be one data read or even two. It's going to be the totality of the data, all of the data, and not just and then how is that affecting the outlook and how is it affecting the balance of risks? That's going to be the assessment that we do. Of course, we'll all look carefully at the employment report, but so much other data coming in and so much happening between now and the September meeting, and we'll make a judgment.